Good afternoon and welcome to our webinar this afternoon. My name is Anne-Maree from AMK Training and Consulting, and I will begin by saying I hope for the hour. I'm up in the Blue Mountains. We've had some lovely storms coming through and my laptop keeps giving me internet unstable warnings. So we might have to see how we go today, and hopefully if it starts to play up, that it's not too bad and that we can keep going today. So our topic for today's webinar is Google Docs and Google Sheets. And these are two of Google's incredible array of products that it has on offer as part of either your G Suite account or just your Google account that you utilize with mail. And the beautiful thing about most of Google's products is that for the end user, they are free for you to use. So these are a really great alternative to have up your sleeve if you're deciding that maybe the Microsoft world isn't for you, or you find that you can't run to licenses for everything in your organization. Google Docs, Google Sheets, and there is a third product there, which is Google Slides, which is the PowerPoint equivalent. These could be really good options for some of your staff to use. So what I'm going to take you through today is just a few different little things, showing you how they work, what some of their great features are, and there'll be an opportunity for you guys to ask some questions as well. So not much of a presentation today. I'm more going to be taking you through the products themselves and actually showing you how those features work. So just to begin, Google Docs and Google Sheets, they're totally free. They're cross-platform word processor and spreadsheet programs. What we mean by cross-platform is that they will work on your Mac, on your PC, they will work on your Samsung phone, on your iPad, on your tablet, on your computer if you need them to. All of these different places you can log in to your Google account and you can access these products. They also work both online and offline, and that's a really great thing for a cloud-based program, is that you can mark either all of your documents or some of your documents to be available when you don't have an internet connection. So, if you're traveling on the train, for example, you might be able to mark a document as available offline, work on it, and then when you get an internet connection again, it will just upload the latest version up into the cloud. So again, all you need is a Google account, and this is the same account that you use for G Suite or Gmail. The tools are cloud-based and they include a really clean layout and quite unique features, and these include the ability to work, share and collaborate from anywhere. And it even automatically syncs and saves all your work, so you never have to worry about saving a document. You're never going to lose a report again. It's just automatically going to give you the most recent and the most up-to-date version that they've got. So if we just have a very quick look through just some of the features of each product. So Google Docs have really smart editing and styling tools. You can do all the formatting of text and paragraphs that you think about needing to do in a word processing document. You get to choose from hundreds of fonts, and you can add your own fonts if you need to, if you have a particular font that your organization uses. You can add in hyperlinks, images, drawings, and that's all part of the free product. It comes with a really great collection of templates, and not only are there templates available from within Google Docs and Google Sheets, the community has built, hundreds and hundreds of different templates. So if you're doing the marketing for your organization, for example, there's a whole range of really great marketing spreadsheets there that will help you do things like track your social media or tracking your budget or planning for an event. And there's a whole range there that you can pick from. You get your documents anywhere, anytime. So there is a Google Docs and a Google Sheets app available for pretty much any product. and you can, again, just sign in with that one account and you're good to go. You can collaborate on documents, so you can share with anyone. And when I say anyone, anyone who has access to a computer, you can share your document, and you get to choose the level of control that that person has. So for example, you might choose to let someone just read a document. You might allow someone else to edit a document. You can edit in real time, so you can actually have multiple people all working on a document at once, and you can actually live see the changes that are being made. And you can even put little add-ons in where you can actually have a phone conference while the documentation is open. You can actually launch that from Google Docs and actually talk about and truly collaborate on that document while you're working. So all of these features are just really, really great. Already mentioned, but I do like to review the fact that you never have to hit save. They actually have revision history, so you can even see all of the different versions. So again, if someone goes in and makes a whole range of changes to the document, you may decide that they're not the best changes. You can actually just roll back to the document before, literally with a click of a button, which is really great as well. And it works with Word. So if you're working in a bit of a hybrid environment where some people are working with Microsoft, or you yourself might be working with Microsoft, you might choose to upload Word documents into Google Docs, and you can actually download your Google Docs into Word format as well. So the format and the extension doesn't really matter so much. And just a quick overview of Google Sheets. So really colourful. You can put really great charts and graphs in. It's got built-in formulas, the same as Excel, and you can create pivot tables and use conditional formatting. So a lot of the things that you are probably familiar with in Excel, these things are all doable in Google Sheets as well. Same as Docs, there's a really great template library. You can get to them anywhere. So again, you can put sheets in, and really great insights. So there's what's called the Explore panel, and that gives you a really good overview of your data. You can get summaries, you can get charts, all of those things are sort of built in, and it really does hold your hand a little bit in a way that's really nice. So we're going to jump across into Chrome now. And the reason I'm using the Chrome browser today is because it's always a good idea to use the product that the creator built a product for. So obviously we are using a Google product, and it has been designed to work the best in the Google Chrome environment. It absolutely works in Safari and Microsoft Edge, Opera. It will work in all of those different internet browsers, but it will work best in the Google Chrome environment. Now, I have just gone to docs.google.com, nice easy little address to remember. And I'm also signed in to my Chrome browser. So you'll actually see my little icons up here. It's here as well. Everything to do with my Google account is all connected into this space. And again, what that means is just real ease of use. I don't really have to think about coming over to a browser and remembering passwords and signing in and doing all of that every time I want to create a document. I only have to sort of open Chrome. I'm automatically signed in. And if I'm not already in the docs space, so let's say, for example, I'm in my email or I'm in YouTube, all of these different Google products, I can click on the little navigation, and that will bring up all the Google apps. And see that Docs is there. And Docs sort of takes you to all of the different features. So if I click on that particular link, we'll just have a bit of a load. Apologies for the slow internet here. And over on the far left-hand side, I've got the main menu. So when I click on I'm getting internet unstable messages again. Sorry about that. When I click on that main menu, you can see here I've got the 4 main parts of Google Docs. So I've got the Docs, Sheets, Slides, and also Forms. So you can build forms for people to fill in. I can go into settings there. And I can also access Google Drive here as well, which is an overview of all of the things I have stored. So I've already chosen Docs, so that's sort of where I am. This is the opening screen that you're presented with. So you'll see the very classic Google search bar up the top here. So you can search for your documents really easily. So if you know you've got a document called resume, you know, I can just click on that and you can see all the documents will come up in my search, which is great. Up the top, I've got the templates. Now this is a really great feature. So when I click on or open up that template gallery, I've got some recently used ones. But you can see here, I've got the ability to pick up resumes, I've got letters, a pet resume that could be fun for someone. There's a whole range of really good work ones in here as well. So resumes, board meeting notes, you know, lots of different things. I do always encourage people to take advantage of the templates that are there because they will save quite a lot of time. So if you need a privacy policy, we can click on this particular one here and do our little waiting game. And it will open up ready to edit and sort of, you know, gives you a bit of an overview how it's going to work with a disclaimer. And then we've got, you know, fill in all the green bits here. So you can see very Word in its layout and its choices. We've got a bit of an outline over here, and I can open that and close that as much as I need to. I'll talk about how we get those in a little bit. So you can use those templates, they're completely editable. When you open up a new document, you can see that's actually just, oh, saying I'm offline, that's not good. Let me just check in, guys, sorry about this. And just making sure that this is all coming through. You can change the name. So you can actually change a lot of things while you're working. And I love the intuitiveness of this. You don't need to save as or go through any of those features. You can actually just click on, so you've got privacy policy, and I could put my business, you know, my organization's name or something there as well. So I've now changed that. Last edit was seconds ago. I can favorite it so that it becomes a, you know, a feature I can get to nice and easily. So really handy little buttons that you can just turn on or off. Now I'm just going to go back to my Docs home. And just going to kick off with a blank document to take you through some of the features. We'll start up in a little second. Can't wait till the NBN comes to the Blue Mountains. It's going to be very, very fun. Okay, so I'm not going to focus too much on the formatting, but one thing I will talk about is the use of styles, and in particular heading styles when you're creating a Word document. And when I say a Word document or a Docs document, these features do apply across pretty much any of the programs you use. So if I'm creating a document on using Google Docs, for example, okay, I've got my heading. And what I would do is I would highlight my title, and underneath up here where it's starting off with normal text, I've got all these different options. So I might go, that's my title, and I'll do a little byline here. And then I'm going to just pop in with a bit of space in between. Spelling mistakes while I'm typing, sorry about that. And I'll just do one more. Okay, so these are the headings that I want to use. And what I would do is I would use these styles. And I'll make that one a subtitle. This one could be heading 1. That one's heading 1 as well. Okay, I've got a few heading 1s there. And then underneath this, I'm just going to pop in. Just got a question, no auto spell check. Yeah, there is. I'm just not letting it kick in quickly enough. And we can do spell checks as well. And I'll make this one a heading 2. So I'm just basically giving myself an outline for a document. And what will actually happen is that will become the outline of your document. You can actually use it to jump around. You can imagine how useful that would be in a long document situation. And the other advantage of utilising these styles is that it will enable you to create a table of contents further down the track as well, literally with a click of a button. So right from the go-get, it's not probably as visually stylish as Microsoft Word, but practically it very much does the job very, very well. First thing I would do up here is I would give it a name. So I won't leave it as, sorry guys, I am having issues with my internet here. There we go. Just taking a little while to click in. So here's my using Google Docs. Let's pick that up from my title, which is nice. And I can make any changes I need to do with that one. Now over here on the right-hand side, at the moment, my document is private. If I click on that share option, it'll open up the sharing dialog and a few different options here. So I can share with others. So I can actually just pop in people's email addresses. So I can, pick on my husband because he's going to come up, and I can pick on Cecily. There we go there. And I can add different information. So I can say, here is the doc for us to work on. And what I can actually do is I can choose how they're going to work with me on this particular document. So I can actually say they're either going to edit, they can comment, or they can only view. So the default is that they can edit. So just be careful with that if you're not paying attention. The default choice is that people can, edit and make changes to that. I can just get a shareable link. Okay, so I can click on that up the top there if I like. Okay, so I've copied it. That link is there. And so I can actually put that anywhere. I can put that on a Facebook page. I can put that on my website. It actually, I can pretty much put that anywhere. And again, I can choose how people work with that. So, anyone with the link, the default is that they can view it, okay, because this is the probably least secure option. But I can make that anyone with the link can edit. So I actually have a few sheets more than docs that are essentially publicly open, that anyone can go in, make changes, make edits, and do what they need to do. Great question from Claire, just while we're shooting through. Can I type up a document in Word and then share it to Google? Yeah, you absolutely can. So what we can do there, and I'll just finish this little section, and then I can, I'll hit send, and those people can get an email and they will be able to go in and edit that people. You'll see my little icons actually changed up there. Okay, so I now have that anyone with a link can share, and I can see that, Chris and Cecily now have a link to work in there. If I already have a Word document, I can come up here to File, and my brain has just stopped. Okay, so if I go to open, they do change this, and I have the ability to upload. So this is how, I'll just go back and do that again. This is how we would get a Microsoft Word document into the Google environment. So on File and Open, and from Upload, I can select a file from my device. And if I jump into my Dropbox here, I should be able to find a Word document. There we go. And I'll open him up. And you can just see it's uploading. It's only a small document, shouldn't take very long. So this was saved as a docx file on my computer. And picks up the same name. So the name of that document was Egg Beanies. And you can see there, it's just pulled in all of that content. So that's literally as easy as it is. And all of the things like the formatting, the layout, pretty much anything that you had done in that original document will actually come through as well. So we've looked at the share option up here, and you can see how you can collaborate. Another feature that it has, which is really nice, is the ability to have comments and notifications. So anyone who is a user or who you have shared that document with can actually comment if you've given them that capacity. If they've only got view access, obviously they're not going to be able to do that. And what you can actually do in the comments, if I open this up, you can see that that's come up with my name. This needs to be updated. And you can actually @ people as well. So I can actually put a little @ in, it'll go into my contacts, and I can pick that, and I can, you know, say, yep, you're the same person. You can do that. So I'm going to pick on you today, Cecily, and I can hit assign. Yep, and I'm going to go Cecily, I'm going to share it. I'm going to give her the ability to comment, but I'm also going to give her the ability to edit as well. And off we go. Okay, so that's been assigned to Cecily. She will actually get an email notification about that, and she will be able to come in and make any changes and do whatever she needs to do. So that collaboration is fantastic because you really have that great ability to work with others. Does anyone have any queries or questions about the collaborating before I move on? You can use the Q&A section. A couple of other really great features underneath the file menu, and you'll see that there's a share option there as well. You can just make a copy. Okay, so this is the save as. You can just completely duplicate a document ready to go. Ray has asked, is this an account created in Google? Google actually don't force you to have a Google account. If someone, you can actually share this with anyone. You can actually share it with absolutely anyone, whether or not they've got a Google account or not. Obviously, they're going to be able to do more with a Google account, but it isn't actually a requirement. You can also download, so this is the opposite side of things. So if someone wants a copy of your Google Doc as a Word document, you can go to the download section and you can see here all these different choices. So the obvious one there is downloading it as a Microsoft Word, but other really handy ones in there is as a PDF. You can also download it as an EPUB, which would be available on an e-reader, something along the lines of your Kindle or books. You can actually create documents using Google Docs and just directly save them down into that EPUB format, which is required by some devices. So I find that one really handy as well. You've got the make available offline, and literally that's just a little tick box, and its downstairs document is now available online. So that's nice and easy. And we've also got here our version history as well. So if I go in and look at the C version history, you can see that I imported it today. So there's really not much going on. But if there were any, multiple changes, we would actually see a nice little list happening there. You can rename them, move them, and get them into the bin. So if you've got a document you don't use anymore, that's a good option just to keep yourself all under control. You can email any collaborators, so you can actually, just send them an email and it will sort of load up. Okay, you'll notice that Cecily is the only collaborator on this one, so it's automatically picked her, and I can send a message about this document, directly from the document. So it's not making you leave and go across to Gmail or Outlook. It's actually letting you do what you need to do from within the environment, which is really handy. And last but not least, we do have just down here some page setup and printing options as well. So you can set things like your margins and your page size, all of those things can be done. Some of the other handy little things that you can do in Google Docs, underneath Insert, we've got the ability to add in images, which you would expect. So again, you can upload, you can search, and you're using Google Search here, which is always a bonus. It'll also let you access your Google Drive or your photos if you're utilizing those features. You can pop tables and drawings in. You can also put charts directly in. And it talks to all of the other programs. So if you've got a chart in one of your Sheets documents, then you can go and grab that from here. You can put in things like headers and footers, page numbers, page breaks. All of these traditional word processing features are all still available here. And you do have table of contents as well. So if I was to use that now, I probably wouldn't have a lot of luck, only because I haven't been using the styles. So I would need to go through and apply my styles. And if I do that a little bit quickly, okay, this document's a little bit awful because it's formatting everything as headings, which is fun. It's when you pick things randomly from your files. And again, if I now came down and, with page numbers or with hyperlinks, okay, and weirdly that is actually correct because it's actually picked up everything there. And we can make changes to that if we needed to as well. Formatting menu, again, the classics, we can play around with text and styles. We've got the ability to change font. We can do all the classics. Tools is really great, and there's your spelling and grammar check there, which is nice. So showing spelling and grammar suggestions. Grammar suggestions is only new. That actually wasn't there as a feature before. Now Explore is really interesting, and I 100% don't know what I am going to get here. It's going to delete my table of contents. Get rid of that. What Explore does is it gives you options about your document. So if I choose Explore, what it will sometimes do is it'll come up with some topics that you might want to research more. You can see here it's also done a Google image search, and we've got some related research down here. So what it will actually do is it can actually help you when you're writing. So if you have been assigned to write an article on a particular topic, you can start, jotting down some of the things that you know, and then you can actually use the Explore feature to give you assistance to go to that next level. So it might come up with, some images that you could use. Let's quickly insert that one. Okay, it's got some topics there that we might want to work with. Okay, so I'm doing egg beanies. So, you know, it's picking up these words, and that might give me the impetus to write that next bit of information. So again, that really clever inbuilt, not making you go off and get distracted and go and do a Google search, but then notice that you've got a Facebook notification. You know, it's making you stay here, and that's always a bonus. Also, underneath tools, you've got the dictionary there, and a really great feature if you're up for it, I'm going to delete my heading there, is the voice typing. And the voice typing is great, and it's one of those things that I very much encourage people to stick with, even if it's frustrating to start with, because the more you use this, the better you're going to get. So I'm going to click on this, and then I'm actually going to talk as if I'm dictating my document. So I'll turn it on. You'll notice it's just popped a little microphone over here where I click to speak. As soon as I do that, it's going to start listening to me. Creating egg beanies is a fun activity for you and your children. And I'm being punished with bad internet here. Creating egg beanies. No, this is an internet thing. I was testing this earlier and it was being completely fine. Oh yeah, he's got to change it to Australian. Thanks, Ray. It picks it up okay, and I find that I can, you know, chat away to myself, put in full stops and commas and question marks, and it's usually pretty smooth. I am getting my unstable internet message every couple of minutes here, and I think the Zoom webinar itself is sucking up as much of the internet as it can possibly get. But yeah, you absolutely can. We can change that there, and you just click on that and you start dictating, and there's really good guides online to help you out in terms of what terminology you need to exactly use to make things happen. So while it can get used for dictating, it can also be used to get other things to happen as well. So you can actually use terms like select current paragraph or select one word to the left and make bold. So you can actually tell it to do things as well. But I think a really good practice initially is just to use it for that voice dictating. And what you'll find is your writing, use that becomes a lot more natural, and the flow works a little bit better as long as you're, you know, fairly comfortable with what we're talking about, and you will do it so much quicker once you start to get into the habit of doing that. So that little voice, and I'll just close him up now because I'm trying to keep as much internet as I can here without anything else using it. So that voice typing is really, really great. And last but not least, before I jump over into Sheets, is the add-ons. So as well as this sort of, you know, basic product that we have here in front of us, Google and other collaborators have developed a whole range of add-ons. Most are free, some have a nominal subscription attached to them. But if you go into your Get Add-ons, it will load up eventually a great list of things that you could have. Here we go. And usually the most popular ones will come up. So we've got lucid chart diagrams, doc to form, we've got a signing document there with DocuSign, spell write and all sorts of different things, word cloud generator if you like, that sort of thing. I would probably not put anything in here that didn't have at least 4 stars, close to 4 stars. You know, Draw.io I have used in the past. There's mail merge features, you know, things that aren't built into Docs itself, but you can click on these. I'll pick on the lucid chart because it is the first one to come up. Okay, so collaborative online diagramming, making it easy to draw flowcharts, etc., etc., etc. Can have a bit of a look through the overview. Last review was a 1 star. Oh, another 1 star. I'll risk it. We'll click on install and you just continue. I might not let this run through just because of the time it's taking. And I just choose my Google account. And do a very quick cursory glance through what it's going to allow me to do, and I'll just hit allow on that one. I'm fairly comfortable with Lucidchart. It is a product I have used in the past, and I'm pretty happy that they're not going to do anything nefarious with my data. So I will install that or let it install, and those features will just become available to me while I'm working in my Google Docs, which is really great. Okay. And I won't make you guys sit through all of that, but you can see now I've got underneath my add-ons, I've got the lucid charts, and I could insert a diagram. And I now have access to all of those extra features provided by that little piece of software. Been asked if that's all provided free. I think Lucidchart probably has a level that it will provide you for free. And if you want access to the really good features, they would probably get you to sign up, because I do know Lucidchart does have a subscription fee attached to it. So I would suggest they're providing their base product to users of Google Docs, and then you'd probably have to pay a little bit to get access to the really good stuff. Going to jump across into Google Sheets now, just looking at the time. And I've just got a blank spreadsheet here ready to go. And if you've ever been in Excel, hopefully you have, again, you will see just an absolute similarity here between the look and the feel of how it works. I will actually say I think Google Sheets is an easier product to use than Excel. It does provide you with pretty much most of what you would need to get going. So for example, you know, the formulas are there. So we've got the ability to put in hundreds and hundreds of formulas. There's sorting and filtering tools available. You can create pivot charts. You can create graphic charts. All of this is here. And again, if I was to go to my Sheets home, I've got all these great little templates that I can start with. And if I go to the monthly budget, okay, it opens up. And an interesting one that I truly wish would come to Microsoft Word is you'll notice that it stops the sheets at the point where, sorry, it stops the columns and the rows when they're not needed anymore. So you'll actually see we only go to M here, and each one of these little columns actually has a great little drop down on it. So I can actually click on that and I can insert left or right. Again, very nice being able to do that. I can delete columns, I can clear them, I can hide them, I can resize them. I can do sorting. And this is actually all from the drop down at the top of each column. So I get this great list of features that are available. So this is a monthly budget we've got here. It's got two little sheets down the bottom, and we've got a summary of expenses and income. And basically you would just go through and put the information in. There's little drop downs with little fields created, and you can create these yourself if you need to. Okay, so we've got the data little feature there. We've got data validation. Not really an Excel training here. There's a lot to cover, just more showing you some of the features that you have available to you. So when you first open up one of your Google Sheets, you've got your little tabs down the bottom. you've got a little plus sign to add a new sheet when required, and it, you know, quite literally is as easy as doing that. You can double click, okay, to name your sheets, which is good. You can jump between your sheets, and I do love this little guy here. It's basically just a navigation between all of the sheets you have. And I know some of you probably have workbooks that have 20, 30 sheets on them. So being able to just jump between your sheets like that is really nice. All of the features that we had, you know, the commenting, the sharing, we've got all of those. I seem to have lost internet again, so hopefully you guys can still hear me. Okay. Having a moment. Oh, back on again. So I don't know if you can see it, but my share button keeps graying out, and that's the first thing that I'm noticing in terms of not being able to access my connection. Okay, I'm still here apparently. This is very odd. So I'm only losing internet for some things. So I can do, again, the default is that I have a private document, but I can then share that. All of the same features are here. So I can download as Excel, I can download as a PDF. Okay, all of these features are still available. And it's very location oriented, a little bit like Excel. So if I click on a cell and I go to edit, I get sort of things that work around where I am. So I get the ability to delete either a row or a column. I can delete a cell. I've got, you know, different ways of working, and they'll all be based on what I've actually selected. And again, I really like that. I think that's a really handy way to work. Inserting in Excel, we're obviously going to get some crossover with with sheets. And we can put rows above and below, columns left or right. I can put cells in and shift down or left. So it's giving me control over where things go. The chart function is fantastic. So I can come in here, haven't got any data obviously, but I can choose between all different sorts of charts. Okay, gauge charts and scorecards and waterfalls, you know, you name it, they're all there. Lots of different choices, and then I can customize them, obviously with a little bit of data there. So charts are probably, I always hate saying this, but I do think they're a little bit nicer to work with. So if I was to throw in just some numbers here, ignore spelling because I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so I can come through. Some different categories there. So if I select some data, come up to my insert and choose chart. Okay, you can see there, I've got a little chart going. I can choose what type I want. Old pie. I can throw some labels in. I can choose what my values are. Ticking things randomly now. I can go in and customize it. So I can choose things like style, what fonts I use, my background color, all these different features. Pretty much everything can be customized. What I want my slices to look like, what color I want them to be, what I want my titles to be. I can move him around and get him out of the way. So the chart feature in Sheets is great. Also under Insert, I've got the ability to do images. I can put drawings in. I can go and access forms. And this is the functions. So the function section is like Excel. It's very overwhelming the first time that you come in here. And you can see I've got the basics up here. I've got the sum function, the average, and I've also got all the different categories the filtering. There's even some Google related ones in there. The if formula is there if you're currently using that one. If error, count if is hiding away in there somewhere. So all of these different formulas can be inserted and worked with exactly the same as if you were in Excel. Okay. You put little checkboxes in, really handy if you are using Sheets to create lists. And I do know people who utilize Sheets as a list creation tool. So you can come through, just pop in your little checkboxes, pop your little tasks in, and you can tick things off as you need to. And you've got a range of formatting tools available to you as well. So again, we can do filters, we can create slices. So slices been a feature of Excel now for probably about 7 or 8 years, possibly even longer. And that's a really visual way of filtering your information. And data validation is where you can create little drop-down lists as well. So I can come in here and have a list of items. I can pop my list in, so I can have, you know, what drink do I like? Okay, Coke and Coke Zero, and lemonade will do. Show the drop-down list in the cell. I'm going to save that. And I now have my little drop-down created in there. So if you're looking for a way to make your data entry a lot easier, that data validation tool is fantastic and is really handy to use. Like Docs, there is an add-on feature as well. So we can come in here. You can see that it's picked up lucid diagrams for Sheets. It's also picked up a mail merge with attachments add-on. That one's really quite impressive, and it's been something that I looked for as a feature for many, many years. What it basically does is it lets you do a mail merge out to a list of email addresses that are based in your sheet, but it will also let you have an attachment for each one of those mail merge people. And that's something that Outlook has not let you do pretty much forever and ever. So that one's really great. And again, if you just go into the Get Add-ons, you can see that there's a whole range of different ones in here. You can put Google Analytics in, so you can actually have your Google Analytics automatically come across into Google Sheets so that they can be analysed. It will talk to a whole range of different programs out there. The beauty of this being a cloud-based service is that you can use a lot of the new automation tools that exist. I'm just sort of going to throw this in there as a little bit of a last feature to show you. So for example, I have a spreadsheet here, which is some event registrations. Now I'm not going to open that up just for privacy reasons, but the way that that particular one works is if I come across to Safari and go into Zapier. Now, if you've come to some of my other webinars, you would have heard me talk to you about the tool Zapier as an automation tool. And whether you use Zapier or if you use if this then that, which is the other one, and I'll Google it as well, just so that I can show you both of them. So if I jump into Zapier, and again, I apologize, this is very frustrating on this end as well. Very hard to show you cloud-based services when the internet's being painful. So it's just loading up. Come on, lovely, you can do it. And both of these automation tools have Google Docs and Google Sheets as one of the programs that you can attach. So the way that Zapier works is it lets you create 5 zaps for free. And one of the zaps that we have set up is when someone goes on to Eventbrite and logs into Eventbrite to register for an event, it actually takes all of those details and pulls them down into a Google Sheet that everyone has access to. So the really beautiful thing there is it's really easy to share a Google Sheet with 20 people. I don't want to give 20 people an Eventbrite login. I don't want them going in there. I don't want them mucking it up. I don't want them doing anything like that. So one of my zaps, thinking, is this one here. So it's Eventbrite to Sheets and it's instant. So the minute someone goes on and creates a registration, it will just automatically come over here and put themselves into this spreadsheet that everyone can see. So it's just taking one of those steps out of the process. And again, it's because Google Sheets is in the cloud and these programs are in the cloud that it does allow you to do those. So, you know, if I go into my dashboard here and it'll come through. Very painful again, sorry guys. Okay, so if I do Google Sheets, what it will actually do is it'll say, how do you want to connect this? So adding Facebook lead ads to rows in Google Sheets, saving new Gmail emails into a spreadsheet. And there's thousands of them that you can do. Create Trello cards from rows on a Google Sheet. A really popular one is using the Google Forms feature and getting the form entries to automatically populate the Google Sheet. So it really does come down to, you know, how you want to work, what you want to do, adding subscribers to MailChimp. Okay, there's the one I've got there, the new Eventbrite attendees. And of course, Google Docs is in here as well. So we can actually utilize Zapier. And we've got a few different things happening. It would be very similar. Okay, so we've got the ability to use Google Sheets in there as well. Now I'm going to open it up for questions because my limit of dealing with bad internet is just about to run out. Hopefully you guys haven't been impacted too much here today. I have pop-ups and things telling me things are going wrong left, right and center on this end. Does anyone have any queries or questions about using either Google Sheets or Google Docs, or anything in particular to do maybe with automating either of those products? I'd be very happy to answer. Okay, so we've got one up, all clear here, no internet loss. Thank you so much, Ray. You've been my lifeline today and I've really appreciated you letting me know how we're going. It's quite weird that, yeah, I'm literally getting dropouts and pop-ups and it's not impacting us, which is really, really great. So what I would encourage you to do, if you have a Google account, would be to jump in and just go and explore either Docs or Sheets if you haven't already, and just sort of maybe think about starting to utilize them. I have not given up on Microsoft Word, and I will say that I still use it. I think that's very habit. You know, I've been using Microsoft Word now for probably 25 years, but I do find that the collaboration aspect just is so far superior here. How do you consolidate several Google accounts? Oh, Cecily, that is probably a question I need to sit down with you and work with that. Google aren't great at letting you do that. You almost have to, yeah, sit there and let them, yeah, I don't think I'd have to sit there with you. I think that might be one for another day. When someone shares a Google document with you to an email that isn't associated with Google, I know that I'd have to hunt up where I've done this, but I know it's possible because I have 3 email addresses, and my Gmail one, funnily enough, is the one that I have my Google account set up with. But somewhere in my Google account, if you've ever been into the back end of your Google account, it's quite the experience. Somewhere in my Google account, I've ticked a box, or I've ticked an option that says that things going to either of my 2 other email accounts automatically let me go in with my Gmail, so that if someone, for example, sends me an invite to my AMK Consulting, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to email them back and say, could you please send it to this one? It does just automatically do that. Now, I can't think of where that is off the top of my head, but I know it's possible because I am currently doing it. So I can actually have invites and things sent to any of my email accounts, and I can just accept them. Say I'm going to a meeting, I can, accept an invitation, and I can go in and edit docs even when they're not connected. So I'd have to have a little bit of a think on that one as to where that is, but I do know it exists. So it sounds like that's what I've done with Cecily there. I've actually sent her an invite to a non-Google account associated one, but we can absolutely go in. And a lot of the settings for your Google account, just to sort of show you where most of them are, you do have your little, I've got my little Google here, up here. I've got my manage Google account. Hopefully nothing too weird comes up when I click on this. It's always fun doing this live. Okay, and this is where we can do things. We can do things like change your privacy. You can log out of other things as well. There's the people option. Definitely not coming to me as to where this is, and I do have to think about where that is. Oh, you did hear a woof woof ray. That was my lovely little doggo having a bark at someone. Her name's Kelly. She's adorable. Okay, so I've got my contacts there. Yeah, I'm going to have to go hunting for that. What I might do is when I find it, I will pop it up as a link on my Facebook page, and that's a nice cheeky way to get you guys to all go over there and check that out in an hour or so. I'll find out where you can actually get other email accounts connected to your Google account. Well, thank you very much, guys. The storm has passed. I hope it's lovely where you are today. It has been lovely chatting to you. If you do have any other questions, these are my contact details. So you can find me at amkconsulting.com.au. Please feel free to get in touch if you have any questions or if there's anything I can help you with, and keep an eye on other webinars coming up with Leap. We'll have some great ones scheduled for you over the next few months. Thank you very much, guys. Hope to chat to you all soon.